doesn't want to rise and shine with me this morning? Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom! Rise and shine every morning with your boy Marky Saints Addiction. That's me. This is how I feel. This is how I actually feel pretty good this morning. Got to talk to my best friend. Got to look out into the ocean and the jungle around me and look at my possibilities and take notes and wake up early. And by the way, I got a bunch of weed. And this morning motivation, we are going to talk about belief system. There we go. You're live. Why does it look like I'm in a ooh, how did that happen? How did that? That's the dream state. No, we want to be in a normal state. Okay, I did it. Okay, cool. Wow, things are changing real quick in life. Our lives move so fast. I wanted to get in here this morning and talk about some structures that I have inside of my brain, these systems that I've adopted or chosen. Not all things or as subconscious as we believe them to be. Most of them are choices, and we have to choose them to be. So this is going to be a real awakening here this morning motivation. Let me see if I can brighten the screen. Okay, it is bright. It's just overcasty today. So we're going to have to go into our brains and talk about what we believe. And that's going to be a tough thing because most of us, we have beliefs. We believe in something, but we don't know exactly our beliefs are. I don't think anybody's ever sat there and wrote down their 10 Commandments or belief systems or creeds or principles. My aunt, my great aunt Marlene, shout out, rest her soul, would tell you that your principles are the realest things about you, and they're going to be extremely inconvenient. They're only going to test you when you need it. You know what I mean? Like the principles are only like, yo, should I hop on the back of the motorbike when my friend's drunk and driving? Or should I sleep with a Thai girl without a condom? Or what other decisions are we making out here in this Vegas life or in this jungle life, Thailand life, whatever my life brings or wherever I go? I bring my belief system with me. And the reason I'm having this conversation this morning is I realize that, especially in relationships, that I might have a different approach than other people. And the only reason I'm here, my muscles popping and my thoughts dropping, and having the logos, and my best friend having his logo here, and he wants to get the Mostly Saints Halo horn tattooed here, or anybody tattooing my logos, my creations of my mind onto their body for their lives. They literally pick up their children every time. Saints Addiction up in this bitch, right? So when I'm in there and I'm in my mind, I had to really look at myself and I said, okay, what are my belief systems that truly make me different or why I'm getting different results, right? So this is what ended up happening to me. I'm going to go through this with everybody, right? I'm going to go through it with everybody. Oh, my screen's just so, of course you would. You would do some faggy like that. Yeah, it's just my screen. Oh, I'm zoomed in. I don't know how to do this. Okay, perfect. Anyway, my screen looks just so janky. Hold up. Think we're reconnecting and we're live. Okay. All right. I'm going to sit still. I'm going to roll a joint with you. I'm going to talk to you about some of my belief systems that's changed my life and the reason I even have the life that I have. First and foremost, I'm in Thailand, right? I've lost almost 50 pounds of weight. Let me, you know, let me, let me show off because it's hard work to be self disciplined. It will be hard work to stay consistent. It's going to challenge everything about you in your belief system. Whatever system you operate, whether it be a fear based system, whether it be a pro. There we go. We're going to stay live off the 95. We're not doing that today. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to get this shit done, girl. Okay? And there we go. Stay live. I ain't trying to chase you all day. All right, and I'm not perfect, so this is what really dawned on me as a person that was like had to realize that my attitude determined my altitude. And I'm starting to see the forest through the trees. It was a decision. How many people, let me put this down here, reconnect. There we go, we're live. I'm gonna just sit still and do my joint. There you go. I'm gonna sit closer if I have to, just so I can keep this show going and keep this show on the road. Shall we? Okay, I'm gonna sit carefully. See what happens. You know what I mean? This is life, and that's what I have my approach to to talk about this morning. Oh my God, I can live in this bag. I know the sun is shining behind me, but god damn, check that out, though. Check that out, though. That's amazing. Let me grab a bud. Let's smoke some bud. And let's talk about life like we always do every morning. Let's talk about some deep philosophies. That's Saint's Addiction. We out here. We got trees. Trees on the knees. Butt naked, please. All right. So I'm gonna just jump into it because I'm rolling this joint and it's my brain's been firing on this all morning long. I'm of the belief that if it's meant to be, it's up to me. That's on my first thing of my list. Rich Abajan, shout out to him, my business mentor, who ended up having a heart attack at like 56, died too early, probably of too much stress, too many steroids, and I keep it real, right? You fucking cunt. You just had to do that. Little cunty moves, like I'm grabbing the bag, but it wants to knock the other bag over. A little bit frustrated, so I want to get this out. I identify it with myself, if I'm being frustrated or if things are moving too fast or I'm becoming too intense. Something else that I noticed about my red flags. I'll get into my red flags in another episode, but this is just something I noticed, right? So we all got to notice things about ourselves. I don't know if you are aware that you're rare and are you paying attention to your attitude. And this goes into the next one. Attitude determines altitude. Okay. Like I'm on the firm belief if you're gonna think things are shitty things are going to happen. I know my ex was trying to tell me about something about uh, um, toxic positivity, where it's not fair to ask people to be positive or make everything okay or just live in a fictitious world where, like, if you just pretend, if you just think happy thoughts and just Care Bear stare it away, get some crystals, get some chakras and some lattes, and then everything will be okay. No, bro, we're not taking that approach. I'm talking about the cold hard approach of looking at my gratitude instead of my complaints, literally counting my blessings instead of my stressings. It's impossible to ask somebody to do the mental push-ups that I've been doing all these years, being homeless, being in prison, looking for the positivity. I do 100 push-ups and sit-ups and fucking whatever a day, but that is nowhere near the thousands of repetitions that I've had in my head to make sure that I am clear. It is nowhere near the amount of workouts. It's like, you don't know me, son. Like David Goggins, the amount of times I've gotten up at 6 a.m. and did the jogging or did the extra work or put on a smile when I had a frown. You don't know how many times, and I don't know how many times, but I do know that I'm here now. Yeah, this is what I do know. I do know that I worked my ass off, mental push-ups, actual push-ups, and perseverance. I'm intrepid, I'm brave, and because I took these chances, I'm in front of these women, even having a chance at love or relationships or whatever it may be, health, traveling, you name it. All those are auxiliary. They're extra credit. You know what I mean? These are exemplary, right? Because what really matters to me was my health. This whole journey was about my mental health and getting my mind right so I can start loving my life again, because I wasn't really in that place. You can go back just a year and see your boy didn't have it in his eyes. But what I got can't be bought. What I have, my spirit, my indomitable soul, man. That's what I've been calling myself. The indomitable soul man, not snowman, soul man, because it is my soul that is on the line. That's what I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to this life. So when I said Saint's Addiction, I had to get real with my addictions. I had to get real with myself and say, what do I really, really want out of my life? What makes me really, really happy? What part of the planet do I want to be on? And if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And take that stance. Take that stance that I got to work the long hours for 15 years to get this business off the road, or even have the opportunity to buy bungalows overseas, or even sleep with beautiful women, or even have a business that people want to even tattoo my logo on them. I never thought this shit was even possible. So when I'm living on the edge, you can't help yourself from falling. Living on the edge. How many of us have risked it for the biscuit? How many of us have put our names on the line or our logos on the line, or showed up one time, or the event connecting? We're staying live on this 95. How many times do I have to restart this live? You know what I mean? This is pretty much what life's about. This is so hard for all of us to have everything perfect. Nothing's perfect, and my imperfection. I had to come up with my belief system. I had to believe in me. I had to believe that no matter what, everything was going to be all right. This too shall pass, and I am loved. These are my three mantras. It isn't like everybody hates me, nobody loves me, everything's going wrong. This is the attitude I can't stand. Pessimism is something I do not operate well under. I don't even want to be around somebody that's like, oh, the we're probably going to get bad seats at the movies, or who's at the party, or there's probably going to be traffic. Like they're literally making the traffic show up with their negativity, and I can't stand it. I don't know what drives you insane. It's not that people have beers or drink around me or do whatever the fuck they want around me. None of that shit matters to me. What really matters to me is your attitude, because your attitude will determine your altitude. And this is one of my core beliefs. So maybe you don't believe that in me. Maybe you believe that you can cry your ways through certain things. I don't know. I think about women getting tickets, like getting pulled over by a cop. If I tried crying to a cop, I'm getting arrested, bro. Like, no questions about it. This isn't up for debate. This isn't like I'm just making it up. I've been arrested many times in my life. I've been in jail maybe over 20 times in my life, and I can't cry my way out of a ticket. Now, some women, they'll lose their accountability, right? And they'll be like, "Oh, you look really cute in your outfit uniform, Mr. Officer. Can you not give me a ticket? Can you give me your number instead?" My friend Kimmy did that the other day, and it worked, right? Like, it's going to work for girls. It's not going to work for guys. So when I had this conversation with my God, I guess like I want to call her my ex, because she left me. With my ex, she literally said to me, right? This is something that was shocking to me. Make sure I got this correctly, because I don't want to butcher it, and I don't want to be misread or misinterpreted. And her friends watch too, so this isn't a burn, you know. And it's not a dig. It's just something that I'm connected. Your life, cool. Stay high priority for me. Mental control is a high priority for me, because my mom didn't really exhibit that. I might be the perfect human being for her, just because I got so much experience in people that can't handle too much pressure in public, or have meltdowns. I haven't had the luxury to have any meltdowns. I'm the only one that I can count on. So if I want to throw a fit, just like I tell everybody when I was in China, I'm the only one that hurts myself, right? Like if I throw a fit, it doesn't stop the train from being on time. It doesn't stop the sun from shining, right? Like my attitude isn't going to keep the train from fucking off tracks, right? My attitude isn't going to be anything uh, um, um, that's going to change the actual situation, but my perception of the actual situation. So I had to stop throwing my bags on the ground, hurting myself, hurting my bags, yelling, screaming, all the people going around me, and realize, right? Realize, real talk, that I was the only one affecting me, and that no one else cared that I was throwing a fit. No one else gives a shit, because they're all in their own world, right? I'm in their world. I'm in China, headed to somewhere, taking a plane, train, automobile, and taxi that day, getting frustrated. It's just been a long day. And my frustrations almost led me to miss the next train. Like, this has nothing to do with anyone personally. It has nothing to do with my ex. It has nothing to do with people that are like that. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that at all. It's literally just me in my head learning about things, and just going around the world, and watching myself operate in the world structure, not my own personal structure, but really what works in the real world, right? And there's still going to be a police officer telling you what to do, or the law, or a government, or something, right? Not one of us is fully autonomous. So the way we operate with people, the way we go out into the world, is a true, indicator of how our attitudes, our perspectives, and our systems operate. This is why I'm having such a cool conversation about this, because it's like we don't really ask that question. It's not like a really good first date question. But I mean, if anything, you're going to ask somebody what's their religion, have they slept with anyone, are they seeing anyone? These are typical conversations. What's your attachment style, all these other things, right? And what's your love language, something like this, right? What we don't ask, and I found this shocking, was what's your belief system? Not what religion do you believe in, but what how do you operate your system? What's your Microsoft DOS, bro? You know what I mean? Like, how do you boot up? Are you an Apple computer? Are you an Android? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you a laptop, or are you a Timex watch? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck knows? Only you will know. And maybe you don't know. That's part of denial too, is to live in denial in Egypt in our brains that we're the only ones that live in our heads. Nothing else matters but what's between our brains. And what I really keyed in on is what matters is how I treat people, right? How I was treating my thoughts, how I was treating myself, and how I was treating others was a huge indicator of how I would progress in life. And that's, I think, the reason I'm in such a good place right now after she left me, was to look at the situations. And she's doing a lot of work too, and I really appreciate her work. You know, she's sending me, sometimes she'll block me on Messenger, open up a Messenger, send me a music video, or send me some memes or something. We're still kind of in contact, and I still love her, no doubt about it in my mind. But I also realized, with my real eyes, you know, I realized that we had a different belief system. I'm of the belief that you gotta attitude your way out. You gotta push your way out. You gotta work your way out. I told her, you're not tired, you're uninspired. And that was another one of my beliefs, is you know, I look at myself with the same attitude and I go, man, I'm not tired, I'm uninspired. Find that different gear, find that second wind, you know, shift the knobs, bro, make it fucking happen. Make it happen, Captain. You know what I mean? That's another one. Make it happen, Captain. We got to write these down. You got to make it happen, Captain. And if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And because I have these core beliefs, right? This is what's happening to me. It's not like my muscles just jumped on my arms. No, I had to jump on the fucking push-ups, right? Like, and it's not like the train was going to stop for me. I had to stop throwing a fit. And for some people, maybe it's just convenient. Maybe they have all the time in the world to throw fits, be upset, and all this other shit. I look at it differently. I looked at it like, I said, you're not tired. I said, a woman in Calcutta with 5 children is tired, okay? She's got no excuses, bro. I mean, she's got all the excuses and doesn't take any of them. Like, literally, she needs a babysitter, a paycheck, and a vacation like 10 years ago, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, really tired, really without, and really struggling. The struggle is really real for some people. And then for some people, the struggle is only between their ears. They don't know how to adjust their attitude. They don't know how to pick a different perspective. They've never picked the mood. They've never switched a mood, not once. They don't know how to shift their gears in their car. And this is why it's a system. Oh, did you see that butterfly just Narnia on me? Lovely. Thank you, universe. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to keep it straight. Anyway, so let's get into it, shall we? Bless up to the morning motivation. Come smoke with me. Let's talk about our belief systems. So, in my mind, when I'm in prison, or something bad's happening to me, one of the first things I tell myself is, this too shall pass. It's one of my biggest beliefs, and you could call it cast or castaway. Get up the hill, you slow fucker. Get up the hill, get past my show, you and your slow wife. Anyway, that this too shall pass. You don't know what the next wave will bring, and that was Castaway. You don't know how the weather is going to change. Ooh, this is tasty. You don't know how you're going to change, but if nothing else changes, nothing will change. And this is just a fact of life. This isn't my opinion. This isn't something that I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm a guru. I'm a social media influencer. Nah, bro. This is life. And in life, there's some real shit going on. When we leave the disaster of our minds and we look around with our real eyes, just like Buddha did coming over the wall, he's not a king no more. He's a real human. And in real humans, people get sick, people get tired, they get angry, they get lazy. There's a lot going on the outside. They get old, and people die. And it was just like, oh shit, I have to realize that I have to inspire before I expire. That's right. I got to inspire myself before I expire. Yeah, inspire before you expire, bro. because you only have certain amount of time. And in my belief system, I'm on a clock. I mean, it might seem like I'm intense, but to me, we only have today. And it's 24-hour clock. It's just like running a play on the NFL. It's on a big timer. Boom. It's on two timers actually in the end zone. And you got to run a play. You got to run this fucking ball in the end zone. You got to teamwork. You got to play. And you got to make a play. And that's where I come from, that I got to make a play. I got to put my helmet down, take the punch, take the hit, and get the tackle or stop the play or get a touchdown. Like, I have to be aggressive. And that's one of my red flags too. I'm too intense for people. They don't live on the level. They're not the quarterback. And sometimes I'm just quarterbacking, slapping everybody's helmet. Come on, boys, let's get this motherfucker in the all right. Let's get that shit. Let's go. You know what I mean? And I'm in that like that. You know, I'm really pumped up, and I was pumped up in football. I fucking even see my veins and shit. Like, I get fucking intense, right? Is that a red flag, or is it just match my intensity? I'm on the belief that you got to match energy. Some people aren't the right energy. I went to my buddy's space, perfect energy, about 6, 7 fucking joints going around. It's his birthday, a little bit of music, a little bit of laughter, a little bit of talking shit. Perfect. I went to the other place, and it was like everybody was snotty. Nobody was saying hi. They all stayed in their conversation. I had my shirt off. You know, it's like I wasn't matching their energy. So I just said hi to my friend, thanked him, told him I loved him, and bounced. Brought my energy to someplace else. This is just me. You know, my intensity. I'm not gentle, you know. Oh shit, that's a little fucking lizard. That shit crazy. I'm not gentle. Life hasn't been gentle on me. By the time you've been homeless and in prison and in poverty, there's a lot of thick skin. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that's also a belief system of mine, that you can't take anything personally. It's part of the 4 agreements, but you got to get some thick skin. And being around thick-skinned and Creole bloods like myself, we don't really give a lot of shits, right? Like, you got excuses, man. Success comes after you stop making excuses, homie. And I had to stop making excuses on myself of why I was tired, or why I was uninspired, or why I'm being lazy, or why I'm not procrastinating or not being proactive. We have the why not here. Why not got developed right down here at Easy House from fucking Pinong himself. We don't talk, and I might not like him as much, and he don't like me, whatever, but respects to him for the why not. But I started to say, why not? Why not me? What about me is making myself, it's not me? Why am I devaluing myself or not putting myself in the game? Why am I giving myself so many excuses? You know, if you want to fucking get off your ass and make your dreams come true, this is the attitude I have. This is the mentality that I have, that Mamba mentality. Most people don't want to go and do the work. They want to go to the club. They want to get blood bubbly. They want to fucking throw out their financial security. You know what's better than a strip club? Credit. Thank you, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a perspective here. It's like T.I. used to say, why you all up in the club popping bub? You know, why you all popping bottles? What are you celebrating? Are you celebrating a baby, album launch, sobriety? Like, come on, man, celebrate something. Not just every fucking weekend. You know what I mean? Like, save a couple weekends of sobriety. All my friends are all tired and sick, and I'm fucking feeling great because I haven't lowered my immune system. You know, these are all decisions that I make, and we're all making decisions all the fucking time. And this is why it's a belief system. We always say, fuck the system. You might have to say, fuck your mental system. Like, does your mental system work for you? Does it actually engage you and get you to the level that you want to live? Or does it hold you back and make you have miscommunications, bad relationships, or bad outcomes? And that's something I constantly have to prove it. Who's doing better than me with mentality and financiality, if I could say that correctly. I don't even know. But you know what I'm saying? There's a thing here, bruh. And it's between our brains, and it whispers to us in our subconscious, and we might not know it, but there's a system here. It'll be an input and there'll be an output. And when we put things into our minds, hopefully that system processes it properly. Like, it's like a computer. It's like you want to put in code. Maybe your Microsoft DOS isn't uploading to your Apple. I'm not sure. Android ain't talking to Android doesn't talk to Apple. Apple doesn't talk to Android, and now you have no system. And that's exactly why Microsoft is the $1 trillion company it is today, is because he went and bought the system. He didn't even make it himself. He found someone else, bought it for like 25 grand and sold it for 50 million, right? Like, that's some clever shit, or like we like to think some clever shit, or maybe it's devilish. I'm not quite sure. It's not the point of this story. My point is that you need to find a right system for your brain. That's the key component to anything that I'm doing. You ask anyone, you know, ask Mike Tyson, is it because he's that much more talented? He said, no, talent is something that's inside. I had to find someone that but to foster my talent, to bring it out of me. I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not the hardest puncher. I just do it faster and was more determined than them. Hard work, determination. Those are my people. This is my mentality. Boxers, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Mike Tyson, you name it, always was Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? I'm just the champ is here. The champ is here. And I love my life. Yes. And I scream that shit on a regular basis so other people can hear it. You love your life? Yeah, baby. I heard you. Like a little half naked ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's my neighbors waving at me, letting them know that I'm alive. And I'm not saying, fuck you. How many mornings have you woke up and heard somebody's attitude where they were on some fuck you shit? That was my ex. She would wake up in the morning and fuck you was in her breath. And I was just like, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not in my belief system. Right? Like I can't take negativity and process it as positivity. What all I can do is find positivity in the negativity. What's working here? We talked about it with the little girl in the back, 23 years old. I know everything. Leo, crazy wild hair, right? All attitude, no knowledge. I was like, I used to be stupid like you too. I was 23 once, thinking I knew everything, right? She's bragging. What language do you speak? England? You got it from England? English? I'm like, you dumb bitch. You got English from Latin. And there's multiple languages off of Latin. You didn't create English. And they're like, I'm from England. It's the Queen's English. No, you Germanian, French, Gallic, you name it, all Latin based. You let that sink in for you, young lady. You know what I'm saying? With your bad attitude. Like, I don't want to take any modeling photos. They're kind of nude. I said, oh, I have no nude photos. I get in on her Instagram. She got her ass hanging out. Okay. Throw rocks in a glass house, right? Like, no, I don't have all the answers. I'm just trying to find a better perspective. And it doesn't matter how many YouTube videos I look at or whatever else I practice. You know what I mean? It's all in the live game of our lives. It's the numbers, bro. It's the stats. That's what I love about football too. It's the stats. How many touchdowns did you get last year? What's your average running yard percentage? Blah 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 blah. Nobody wants to be on those microscopes, especially women. You don't want to be like all your menstrual cycles have been underproductive. What? Like, how many cycles have you had and chances and opportunities to have a baby, but you haven't? How many opportunities have you had to be cohabitating with someone or learning from someone or being having a team experience, but you haven't? And that's what we ask for jobs. We go, you want this job? You want to be my girl? You want to be a part of the team? Cool. What are your assets? What do you bring? Well, I bring teamwork. I bring communication. I've led a couple teams to a couple different regional sales things. And you're like, okay, that's productivity, right? We also want to know adaptivity, and we also want to know the intangibles, right? This is the NFL. They want to know, are you a liar? Or do you beat your girlfriend? Sure, you might throw 7 touchdowns in a game, but are you on cocaine? You know what I mean? Like, we need to really have conversations about the intangibles. And this is why we're having this conversation this morning. I'll go a full fucking hour because I got to get this in. So let's link this in. I have a video for you. Your voice saying I want to smoke a little bit anyway. And it's ready. So it's already prepared. Let's do it. Wait, I hear a truck coming up. 4 common behaviors that kill relationships. Stop this. How about start this? Come on, bish. Come on, bish. Stop being a little bish. Come on, bitch. Nobody's asking for it. Okay, let me try again. Where's my signal? No connection, just like in life. Do we connect with ourselves? Are we getting connected lists? Are we fucking ignoring our communication to ourselves? Are we ignoring our friends? Are we not paying attention to subtleties? Are we ignoring red flags? It's all on us. If it's meant to be, it's up to me, baby. Come on. Let's go.
Those of us who are romantics at heart often fantasize about that perfect if we were a movie love. Even if you're not a romantic, you might still want a special someone by your side to lean on, laugh with, cry to, and cuddle the heck out of at the end of a bad day. Remember Jim and Pam from The Office? Despite all their ups and downs, they still had a beautiful romance. They trusted each other, supported each other's dreams, and were lovers and best friends at the same time. It's sickening, but I want that too. Sometimes real life relationships aren't very Jim and Pam. Sometimes they look more like a mild version of Ryan and Kelly. A little dysfunctional and pretty toxic.
Oh no.
Toxic behaviors can creep in on your relationship, whether you mean to or not. What are some of those common
Let's
behaviors that
talk about it.
can kill a relationship? Keep watching to find out. Number one, I'm sorry. Sometimes partners can unintentionally hurt each other. Maybe a joke goes too far, or their cooking gets criticized a little bit too much.
Yeah, let me talk shit
When our
about my
partner is
cooking.
genuinely hurt, this should be a sign to apologize. Avoiding that apology or never giving one is one common behavior that can kill a relationship. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult to say sorry. On the outside, it may seem we're too proud to apologize. Beneath the surface, we may feel afraid to admit we made a mistake. It can be scary to feel like we're inadequate or guilty. No matter how hard it may be to utter that small but meaningful sorry, it can actually save your relationship in the long run.
Say
A
sorry, y'all.
2017 study published in Frontiers in Psychology found that if you offer a sincere apology, the other person is much more likely to forgive you. Another research study from 2014 showed that apologies reduce feelings of anger. Basically, a simple but sincere apology can help get rid of all of the negative tension between you two.
Wow.
Do you sometimes feel awkward apologizing, even though you would like to? Try writing it out. No, not a text that says sorry. Pour your heart out and apologize with a letter or small note on the fridge.
I'm writing a
I
love
bet your
letter.
partner will definitely appreciate it. Number two.
Wait, let's get into it.
Attached
So,
to.
I used to have trouble with sorry because I used to think sorry people said sorry, or at least that was my belief. Now I apologize emphatically, immediately. And if I see that I'm erroring or maybe I'm not getting it right, what I learned from that South Korean guy the other day was he's like, "I not miss you miss." And that in itself, you go, I always say sorry, sorry. If my miss, I so sorry, I so sorry, I miss, I'm so sorry. Best advice, bro. He hit number one right on the head, and I got it from a complete stranger. So thank you, bro. Let's get into it. Number two, attached to you.
Ancient Greeks talked about the mysteries of love and gave it its own story. According to their mythology, humans were originally created with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a head with 2 faces, but only one heart. Zeus became afraid their powers would overcome his own, so he split them into 2 separate parts. Those parts then spent their lives in search of their other halves. This piece of mythology explains why romance is sometimes described as 2 bodies, 1 soul.
Wow.
But is that really the case? Sometimes those in relationships can develop an unhealthy dependency on their partners when they become emotionally attached or lose their sense of identity outside of the relationship.
Don't
A
do this. Keep your
2018
friends.
study showed that emotional dependence in a relationship can be a sign of childhood trauma and preoccupied attachment. If you have
Now,
developed the
now I've gotten been called out for having an attachment disorder, or being wanting to be too attached or needy or whatever. For me, as a Taurus male, as a man, I like to solidify. I like to make love and cuddle and kiss and eat out and fucking go to dinner after, and both eating us, and her getting eaten out and her getting to eat after, and romance and just keeping the good times rolling. That's the New Orleans in me. Keep the good times rolling. I don't like to stop for nothing, but plenty of times to have your own friends, and plenty of times to have your own family, and plenty of times to have your own time. For real, dude. I love my own time. If it's us together, I want it to be us together. If it's us apart, that's okay with me too. I like my singleness, kind of thing. Like I've gotten used to um, um, uh, not having anyone around, and to include someone in my life, to have them jump on the train and go in a direction, go to the station. Um, Not easy. People are going to different train stations, man. People have different attachment styles, right? And some people might call it smothering. I call it, you got me hard in the ocean. Let's do something about it after. I want some alone time with you. I want to solidify. I want us to cuddle, fuck in public, in nice little secretive spots, and rendezvous, and meet up. I don't need third wheels at dinner. It's tough, it's tough when mom's around. You know what I mean? But yeah, people allowed to have their moms, but people allowed to have their friends, and Don't be so fucking needy, bro. I'm not needy. I promise you. Nobody was in the prison cell with me. I'm used to being alone, so I didn't know how she got that. I just was in love with her. I wanted to. Her body's so beautiful. I wanted to touch her, and I wanted to kiss her, and I wanted to make love with her under that full moon. I felt like it was a huge missed opportunity, and it created a wound.
Unhealthy attachment. You might neglect all of your friends and only hang out with your partner. You also might depend on your partner for emotional comfort instead of regulating emotions on your own. Do
Got to
you feel
regulate your
like
own
you don't
emotions.
know
It's
who
a
you
6 minute
are without your
video.
partner? Or like you depend on them? This could be another trait that's killing your relationship. Number three,
Wait
my
for it.
crystal ball is broken. Communication is the key to relationships. This may
Man,
sound a bit
what
cliche,
all
but
the porn
numerous
star said,
psychological studies
communication.
over the years proved the importance of clear communication with your partner.
Right.
For example, a 2021 study published in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin showed that your relationship may flourish if you avoid negative communication patterns, making assumptions. When you and your partner don't communicate your needs and wants with each other, you're forcing each other to read each other's minds. You might assume what the other one is thinking or put incorrect labels on each other. For example, your partner might feel tired from a 12-hour shift at work, but you assume they're mad at you and uninterested in speaking to you. You say things like, "What did I do to you now?" Or, "So you're just giving me the silent treatment?" Now you're angry for no reason, and your partner may now be confused or may get angry back. This whole situation escalated because communication didn't happen. To avoid putting yourself in such situations, make sure to communicate your wants and needs clearly. Maybe your partner tells you how exhausted they are when they get home. Maybe you ask why they're being so quiet. If you find yourself trying to assume your partner's wants and needs, just stop and ask. More times than not, your assumption.
Stop and ask. She was on my lap just like that, just like this image right here. Sleeping in the back of the taxi, and I got us a private taxi, so we had our own aircon, and she could lay all the way down. And I knew she was tired, but I also felt like she was uninspired. Like this kind of shit right here for me is like, what are you gonna do when you got kids? You know what I mean? This is just a cartoon. What about real life when you under pressure, bro? Like you got deadlines and bills need to be paid. What if your partner is always coming home tired and uninspired? What if they're always grumpy? What if they're always moody? What if they always got a pouty face? What are you supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you not want your significant loved ones? Is anybody of the 50s wanting to see their come home and their wife be happy and their kids be happy and there be some zen in the house? You know what I mean? Some peace. Or do you want to be in chaos? Do you constantly want to be in turmoil? And this part is about communication, but this is also the secret teamwork I'm talking about, right? This is about that. You're doing it for the team, the greater good. Soak it up, pussy. Like I'm about that life, and I know it might be harsh because I'm too aggressive, right? But that's me, right? Like I'm sitting here going, like we can win. This is a football game. We gotta suck it up, pussy, and be a pussy and have our pussies bleed at a different time. Like right now, we got to get through Cambodian border, or have a business meeting, or all the other things. Like when I was selling a car, and they would say, don't talk about your divorce when you're selling a car, is because now's not the time. There's a time and place for everything. And that's what I saw about the emotional regulation of things. It was just like, I mean, even if I wanted to be in down and out, probably not the best time to do it in front of the cops, right? Like you got to kind of straighten up and get your act right, or you might be going to jail, losing your freedom. We were talking about violence last night. My buddy was like, I want to lift weights with you. You look really good. Da 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 da. And I'm like, today's your birthday, but you got to quit drinking, right? You got to have some self discipline. You can't work out and drink at the same time. It'll kill your gains. So he said you want to be fit and get into fights. And we were talking about violence and how men know men can touch each other, and that there's a repercussion for some action. Then you got to get some act right. You know what I mean? Like we got to get communicating with people on a level where we're like, okay, I got my chi right, I got my energy right, I got my focus right. I'm coming to you with the vibration of openness and understanding and empathy. Right? This is something in male toxicity, and bring out my gentleness because my aggression seems to be too intense for most motherfuckers. I'm just not gentle, and my male masculinity doesn't allow me to be gentle. I'm in the football game of my life now. She's just a cheerleader off to the side, got her nails done and her hair done and her makeup done. She's not ready to get into the huddle and play the big game, and I don't realize that very well, right? Like, this is me communicating, right? I don't seem to understand when I'm communicating with people why my intensity isn't firing them up and it's intimidating them. This is what I'm talking about. I talked to about my friend Kimmy. She's going on these ATV rides. She's got all these male dominant guys wanting to get on ATVs. They want to ride. They want to ride fast. They want to ride off the trails. They want to do what they want to do because they're men. They don't want to take instructions from women. They don't want to be talked down to, and they don't want to be demasculated. And that's exactly what Kimmy does because she's an alpha female. She doesn't know how to talk to men. She doesn't even have a good relationship, so she doesn't know how to base off respect and how men want to be talked to. She already has a chip on her shoulder with them, and so I said you should deputize them, right? You should talk to them in a way that they are feeling respected, right? And that you're coming to them as an ally, instead of coming to them with some static and some complaining. It's not how it's going to work. Now, this is just a business thing, right? This is just some random person you get to take on a tour. What if you have to talk with them every day? What if it's a relationship? What if this is you're tired one day and the other person's excited that same day? What's going to happen then? And that's exactly what happened to us. We couldn't communicate. I knew she was tired and I let her take a nap, but she still was tired and was always tired. I mean, after spending so much time with her best friends and her mom, I got the shit results. And to take it off of her, let me give him a better example. My buddy Aki, but he went all the way from everything he's ever known in Ticarilla to Tampere. It's about, I don't know, 3 hour train ride away and hundreds of kilometers away. Took off, didn't say goodbye to nobody. Now he's got her friends and her system and lives with all of them, and all her friend sets are his friend sets, and they're intertwined, right? What he was telling me, what was it important about this? Hold on, I'm a little bit stoned. What did I want to say about Aki's story? Oh, that he would be exhausted at the end of the day, right? So his routine was to take the train back to Ticarilla, that 3 hours or whatever the hours on the train, hours back. So he's getting exhausted going to work, going to the bar, and by the time she had me time or him time or Aki time or time with Aki, he was exhausted, passed out on the couch and gone. And then in the morning up at 5 a.m. again because he works like the graveyard shift and disappear. That's what he was doing. You know what I mean? He wasn't there. You know what I mean? He wasn't arriving. He wasn't bringing his A game, and let alone communicating. He just wasn't there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can you build with that? And he said that was probably the end of the relationship. He went back, and we'll see if that works for them. But you know, there's a lot of exemplary extracurricular fucking orbiting situations around situations that you might not see, like a tired traveling day or a frustrated day or a legal battle day or a paperwork day or a deadline day or a stress day. How you operate, and this is what also was my belief system, that I'm not like allowed to lose my temper. I'm not allowed to hit people. This was another big red line for me as well. I'm proud of myself. No yelling, no hitting, no disrespecting, none of that shit. No name calling. I've been really good about it. Not once has any of the derogatory terms have flown out of my mouth. I'd love to say not once have I yelled, but there was one time where she wanted to dance with another man and was kind of sticking to her argument and didn't understand that she was frustrating me again, and she already walked off with another dude. And I'm like, why aren't you trying to ask me to dance? Why don't you want to dance with me? And you talk about me being needy. Fuck you handing out my dancing. I never got you in a nightclub yet. You're drinking. Red flag for me. I'm a non-drinker, so when I'm a non-drinker and she starts drinking in front of me and then starts tapping my head and want to dance with my friends, it's very frustrating, and there'll be no accountability for it the next day of how you treat people. You know how alcoholics are. They were numb when they did it, so they don't know what damage they did. Let's go.
Will not be completely true. And number 4, micromanaging. Okay, you found the love of your life. As your relationship starts to progress, you and your partner may start spending more time with one another. Sleeping over at each other's places may happen so often to where you end up moving in together. This can be when you start noticing little things about your partner that may just irk you. For example, they might leave their clothes all over the floor instead of putting them in the hamper, or putting your cereal in the wrong cupboard. When that happens, How do you respond? One common response that can kill a relationship is micromanaging. This is when you try to control every aspect of another person, including their actions. Clinical psychologist Karen Nemau said on Medium that micromanagers often have extremely high standards, so they struggle to trust their partners to do things as well as they do. This type of control.
Damn. Damn. Control freaks, bro. Micromanagers. I tell people all the time you can manage yourself is the time that you don't need a manager. I would love for people to manage their own feelings. They just don't come that way. As a manager and a business owner, I know that I have to manage my employees' feelings. If they don't have gas money that day, I don't have gas money that day. If they're late, I'm late. You know what I mean? It's a representation of my company and my performance, and I have to work with people, not through people, not force people, but they actually are people, and we make mistakes all the fucking time. We have things in our lives that we can't control, and that's just part of life. So that's why I got to work on being more flexible. Let's write that down on my list. Well, stubborn. That's me too. I need to get um, um flexible. I got to be more flexible. I got to be more like the reeds. I'm looking at the bamboo. It's so strong at the stalk, but it's leaning over so gently. Practicing feng shui or practicing ikagi or practicing some sort of messages from nature. These are the things that I'm learning. It's not like I know them, but it's got my own red flags. That's going to be the show tomorrow. But besides for my red flags and these motherfucking mosquitoes, right? Let's continue this video.
Bullying behavior can drive the other side crazy. They might start feeling incompetent, resentful, or anxious, wondering if they can ever do anything right. If you're micromanaging your partner, this could be a sign of other mental health diagnoses such as anxiety or potentially obsessive compulsive disorder. If you feel like you're micromanaging, reach out to a mental health professional to help stop this behavior that could be killing your relationship. The list of toxic behaviors is kind of endless. If you want to learn about 5 more relationship killing
There it
behaviors,
is,
check out
bro.
part 1.
There it is, bro. When your OCDs start mixing with someone else, when the bathroom isn't clean enough, or they want to trim my beard, or they don't like me coughing and spitting up shit, I can see it. For some of my friends, they're like, it's disgusting. She's not the only one. Shout out to Benny Mac if he's still alive and doing well. Shout out to Jono in England. He was like, bro, I can't stand it. My dad used to be mad at it. And then I tell them to their faces, my dad would be a spitter. He would hawk and spit. He would chew tobacco. It's better to spit it out than to swallow it. Where did my motherfucking other joint go? Oh, it's over here. What else? Um, you know, um, my breath would stink. She'd get me some mints or something, and I'm thinking I've been kissing you the whole time on your empty stomach, and the empty pit stomach smell. I didn't check her like the smog. Oh, here comes the rain. Here it comes. So yeah, man. I mean, life it's not easy, bro. You know, I think we all know life's not easy, bro. And it's hard enough for us to communicate with ourselves. It's hard enough for us to get our own minds right. It's enough for us to all be from different experiences and backgrounds. I'm from fucking Vegas, and I'm an extrovert and a people person trying to date an introvert from Norway that doesn't have anybody around, hasn't had a lot of friends or experiences, and hasn't really traveled a lot. I just assumed, and that was another thing that I did is I assumed too much. I assume that people have the same expectations as me, right? Like if you're on this trade with me, I'm assuming we're going to the same station, like marriage, family, kids, and me like I need that like the snap of my fingers, and that eventually that's where I'm heading. And I think most people ask those questions like, "What's your view on having children?" or what's your goal? You know what I'm saying? Like people, I think a lot of people have these conversations because we want to know if we're wasting each other's time. And that's my impetus too, is that I don't know how long I'm going to live. Listening to my friend Adam yesterday, after he goes after 50, he's like, I don't know if I'll be alive tomorrow. And it was just one of those things. He kept talking about death, and I think it happens when you're when you're having a birthday at 50 plus. I think you start counting how many years you have left, and that's the message I got from him. Is just like, we don't get so many years of our lives, right? We only get so much time on this planet. Let's not waste each other's time. And I know some women out there like that. They're 38 years old. You're only born with so many eggs. Some women are freezing their eggs. They're trying to get longevity. We've been doing this for 5,000 years of civilization. The Chinese fucking trying to bury himself with emerald suits and swallowing mercury. Like, yeah, a lot of us are like that. You know what I mean? And I study human psychology, and I want to know more about myself and the reason I react the way that I react. That's why this list is happening. And I'm also going to call myself out on my own red flags so I can fix them. That'll be the next episode. But for this episode, that whole belief system that we keep in our brain and we might not know. It's a lot of reasons why we want someone with the same values, same religious background or education or wanting to have children or family. All these things combines to be us, and that's all of us as people. It's not just me or she, it's a we, it's us, it's all of us, and it's the human condition, and it's human psychology and behavioral psychology, and the statistics of what everybody's been doing. So four reasons why people are getting divorced. Basically, they stopped communicating, they started assuming, they took each other for granted, right? um, they what was the other ones? What was the other ones? Come on, mark your stone, but you just watched it. What were the four? Let's see. It was communicating and saying sorry. I remember that one. The other ones, attached to you. So, everyone has an attachment style. I had to learn about it. You might be an anxious avoidant. You might be, um, what's the other one? Uh, Anxious avoidant. I don't know. You got to do your own research, but you know, um, I think it suggests doing research. To thy own self be true. You got to know yourself, and that's the reason I'm doing my red flags and the things I got to fix them myself. It's only my side of the ball. I don't know what the other person's going to do. I got to be free from it all, the outcome, and be detached. I'm practicing my Taoism, and just be detached from the outcome. I'm not in control of the situation. I'm definitely not in control of her. And I thought I was in control of my future, but what? Who knows what dreams might come? We don't. I don't know. All I know is I can do the best that I can do every day. Stick to my diet, stick to the weight loss. Very, very proud of myself. I can't believe my body has responded like this. I can't believe there's even ripples on my stomach. You know what I mean? I can't believe 50 pounds off, and let's go for another 10. I want to see how low I can go. I got another month to do it. Quitting the sugars. You ain't watching, but I am. At night when those ice creams are calling my name, I got to tell them bitches to go back to where they came from. I got no snacks in the fridge. Just been doing shakes and weights. You know what I'm saying? Shakes and weights, baby. We don't have to write that down. Shakes and weights. Hold up. Hold up. Beautiful people from all over the world coming here every day. I got to get my attitude of gratitude back up and remind myself that I don't have it that bad. How dare I bitch and moan in a fucking paradise island? Shakes and weights. Men's workout tanks. And to be able to reflect on how blessed I am that I even have these opportunities, that my friends give me money, or that I have real friends, and then I call him up like my day ones and he wants to get my other logo tattooed, the mostly Saints halo and horns on his neck. I thought about doing it right on the back of my neck. I thought it would be super dope. He's already got the Saints Anarchy A on his hand. I forgot that I had a brand, that I had logos that I built and labels that I built from scratch, and that I am in this game. And I watched the guy do his um, minimum order quantity reels on YouTube. I do that same shit in real life, bro. I do that same shit in real life at Magic Convention twice a year for the last 10 plus years, bro. Like I put myself on this map, and I said I wanted to get there, and I left Colorado with no money to get there because I knew I needed to be near the action, and I knew I needed to survive, and I needed to go across the world for a year without no money and make it, and then I can make it past love and attachments and chaos. I can find my peace and be me and at myself and my core and be a better me and actually pick me apart a little bit, go under the microscope and see if it's not of anything else. It's been a great example of my test of my will and my perspective. You know what I mean? I don't know everything. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the rain will bring. It's starting to come in right now, but I know I'm here for it. You know, I'm here for a reason, and it's a season. It's about to be rainy season here, so I might need to move onward. My friends are wanting me to come back home. I might go to Rome. Um, I got to buy this business, uh, solidify my future, have my retirement plan. It's always been my retirement plan. Stick to the plan. You know what I mean? Keeping it real. 1,000, 100 trillion. Um, like I'm on the case, and I need to stay as mentally focused as I possibly can. Some really good weed. This is a really hard breakup. I don't even know if I'm even broken up, honestly. I still have love for her. Love doesn't stop, you know what I mean? She can walk away from me all she wants, but I have to learn my own lessons in life, and I have to do my own research, and I just want to be a better man, a better husband, trying to wear that ring every day, and I want to practice that as well. You know, wearing the ring and see what it's like to be committed, even if I'm not in the relationship, just to practice it. You know, just to practice these credences, and when I feel myself getting intense, being more gentle, whispering to myself, gentle, 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 because I have care. Oh shit, there's like dripping on my shit. Ooh, don't you be don't you be dripping on my beliefs, man. Don't you be dripping on my beliefs, honey. Calm down. So, yeah, unpredictable shit in our lives, and how do you roll with it? How do you approach it? What's your attitude towards it? Can you adjust your attitude? Can you adjust your perspective? Can you adjust your mood? Can you find the silver lining in the clouds, even though the sun is shining and baby blue one part, there's rain in the other part? We're all going to be mostly saints. We're all going to have a halo and a horn. We're all going to have good days, bad days, tired days, energy days, you know. But I'm talking about emotional regulation. I'm talking about proper response rates and energy. And if I'm too intense, other people have been too intense with me. Life has been intense with me. So that's why I did this journey. That's what Saints Addiction's all about. You can go travel the world with no money and tell me how your show goes. But my show's still going. And thanks to my friends, thanks to Gianni, thanks to Yoni, thanks to Nick, thanks to Mark, thanks to, I hope he's still alive, my boy Fred, thanks to Jono, thanks to David James, thanks to David Childress, thanks to, who else helped? Kimmy, thanks to Kimber, my two Kimmy and Kimbers, the two Aries, my besties in my life. Thanks to all my friends that answer the phone. Um, Thanks to Mr. Nash at XFate for believing and supporting me. Thanks to uh, Futurola. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Come on, being annoying. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Mr. Nash at XFape, he's the motherfucking man. And support me, Futurola, all the guys at Futurola. Yep. And who else? Ultimate Brands, Bob Marley Brands, Billionaire Hemp Wraps. You know, a lot of people to be grateful for and thank, believing in me and helping me get back on track. And I need to get my phone back on, and I got to get my websites back up, and I got to probably go back to America and go do these conventions and get Print an Hour back up and running and making money like it normally does and be up in this game and be up in that heat. And I just want to kind of keep traveling. I want to go to the Coliseum. I want to see Rome. That's one of my goals in life. I'm kind of not done traveling. If you knew, if you only knew. So, oh, I'm getting the phone call I've been waiting for. Y'all, I'll talk to you later. She's calling me. Love you. Bye. Chigata.